It is a little after 5 a.m. Matthew Thompson kisses his longtime girlfriend goodbye and he leaves for another day at work. As Matthew drives through the country roads, a deer jumps out into the highway. Matthew slams on his brakes and swerves to miss the deer. Matthew loses control of the car. The vehicle veers off the road and flips over as it travels down an embankment. Thankfully, other cars witness the accident. Emergency personnel are summoned. Matthew is taken to a hospital where he undergoes surgery for multiple injuries. When Matthew wakes up, he is in the intensive care unit on a ventilator. A breathing tube, which is also known as an endotracheal tube, is placed down his throat and into his airway. The breathing tube passes through his vocal cords and impedes Matthew's ability to speak. As Matthew recovers in the intensive care unit, he struggles to breathe on his own. He can take a few breaths, but then he needs to use the ventilator again. Matthew is alert and retains muscle strength. However, Matthew cannot speak due to the breathing tube. After 14 days, the doctors decide Matthew has had enough time to recover from his massive injuries. The doctors call the family and tell them they have to make a decision. Matthew either has to get a tracheostomy tube to continue using the ventilator, or Matthew is going to be taken off the ventilator and the breathing tube is going to be removed. The doctors tell the family if Matthew gets a tracheostomy tube, he will be institutionalized for the rest of his life because people cannot live at home with a tracheostomy tube and ventilator. Although Matthew is alert, he is never asked what he wants. Since he cannot speak, he is not allowed to make his own choice. Moreover, his longtime girlfriend is never consulted. Instead, the family, who has a strained relationship with Matthew, makes the decision. The ventilator is switched off and the breathing tube is removed. Matthew gallantly fights to breathe. Soon, though, he goes into respiratory distress. The hospital notes on his medical chart he's having an anxiety attack. They give Matthew a large dose of morphine. The morphine overrides his efforts. Soon, Matthew stops struggling as the morphine causes his respiratory muscles to fail. Death follows shortly thereafter. Matthew's story was recounted to me by his longtime girlfriend. She was absolutely devastated to learn through my YouTube channel that the family had been told lies. For example, it is possible to live at home with a tracheostomy tube and ventilator. Moreover, Matthew's girlfriend shared with me, Matthew wanted to live. Matthew was making great progress, but he was only allowed 14 days to recover. If he'd been able to make a choice, he would have wanted a tracheostomy tube. Matthew's girlfriend said if she had been informed of the family's decision, she would have raced to the hospital and tried to prevent the medical staff from taking Matthew off the ventilator. But since she was not related to Matthew and she was not declared his medical power of attorney, she had no voice. She had no choice. I am deeply grieved by this story. If only Matthew and his girlfriend would have known how to protect themselves from this tragic ending. To avoid complications which arose in Matthew's case, please create an advance directive. This is a document which outlines what should be done in case a person needs breathing assistance, supplemental feedings, palliative care, etc., and the person is unable to make his own decisions. This document also designates a healthcare power of attorney. A healthcare power of attorney is the person who is responsible for making medical decisions. He or she will be guided by what is outlined in the advance directive, but the healthcare power of attorney has the ultimate authority to make the final decisions regarding care for the person. I hope and pray Matthew's situation never arises again, but I know it happens all the time. Please take the time to create an advance directive. For people residing in the USA, a link is provided in the comments. Please select your state and follow the on-screen directions. Remember, if you have no voice, you have no choice. May Matthew's memory be a blessing. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye-bye! This story has inspired me to create an advance directive. My family knows my wishes, but it is a safety net to ensure the medical center consults my family before making life-ending decisions. Also, if you create an advance directive, take photos of the document and save it to your phone. When going to a hospital, have the information uploaded to your patient chart. Even if you have an advance directive, if the hospital does not have a copy of it, they may not follow the advance directive.